Welcome back, everybody, to ElChizzoReviews. Aren't flea markets awesome? My friend was at one a few weeks ago and found this for $3. Imagine my face when I saw a picture of this guy on my phone. Needless to say, he grabbed it for me, and now here we are. This is the Mystic Force Yellow Ranger from the Power Rangers, bit of English there, sorry, Collectable Figures line. I always get a kick out of Power Rangers figures because they're so disproportionately muscular, and they have armor that never appeared in the show. I'm way too excited for this, so just let's get started. The figure is cast in a solid yellow plastic with this scale mail look to his suit that you wouldn't see outside of a game of Dungeons and Dragons, which makes sense with the whole magic theme. His upper body looks like he's wearing some kind of chest plate with molded trim that should be in his super mode, not his base mode. His helmet is fairly accurate, not trying to do anything fancy, just what you would see in the show. I don't understand why they'd start now. They haven't done that the rest of the figure. His forearms have this crazy plate armor that I can't seem to, figure out. It leads into some oddly detailed gloves, if you can pick that out. Looks something like you'd see in Kamen Rider or one of the Metal Heroes series, like, Juko B Fighter, Gavan, etc. His logo here, his logo for the Magi Ranger logo, Mystic Force logo, whatever show you're watching, seems to be separate from the base suit as it sticks out a little bit. I suppose that was the only way they could do it in order to maintain this plate mail look and still have a sensible way of portraying the logo. And honestly, I kind of like it. And it kind of just travels down his legs. Speaking of which, as long as we're here, I think his legs have more detail than the rest of the figure combined. That crazy plate armor from the forearms is down here too, although this time a little less intricate. And it looks like he's wearing steel compression braces on his knees. Hey, some people have arthritis. Moving down, he has these weird spurs on his boots. Now, I don't know why they're there, but I like them. His paint is really nice too. It goes just a little outside in places, like you can see on that gold trim how it kind of just barely... Hold on, let me get the light on it. It just barely peeks over the lines there, but it's so small that you wouldn't even notice. Sadly, it's nothing on his body is that Bandai of Japan metallic paint that I've come to love so much, and so this figure isn't going to be able to scratch that itch for me. Moving on to articulation, he has a swivel joint in his head, so it's just a swivel. He can't look up or down. His shoulders just rotate. They aren't on universal joints, they're swivel joints, so you're not going to get much more than forward and backward range there. He gets 90 degrees of bend in his elbow, and there is a wrist swivel. There's no waist joint, but his hips are on universal joints, weirdly, and they get some great range. He can do the full splits, goes backwards about that far, forwards about yay far, and I'm holding this leg here because if you don't, then bringing up one leg can affect the other. Hold on, let's see if I can do that without touching the other leg with my finger, so I can prove to you I'm not lying. Oh, come on, you do it before. Basically, I've had... There you go, you see that? How I think, why I think this is just the way the joints are pegged in. They're meant to be separate pieces, but they're pressed up against each other, so friction just kind of moves it. They feel loose when you have it in the hand, they really do, but they hold a pose nicely. I mean, I can tap it, it's just fine. The only way, like, nothing short of a really stern, rough tap will affect that. And then from there, he has about 90 degrees of bend in his knees. And a calf swivel, which is unusual, which is hidden by his boot. I mean, it's not terribly impressive compared to modern figures, but you know what? It's just enough that a kid would be able to enjoy it. Now, by now, most of you will have probably taken note of the static cape that just juts out from his upper back. You all know that these particular kinds of figures come on a cardboard backing, so there's no way it came like this. The cape is actually a separate piece that plugs into these two screw holes in his upper back, and if you remove it, you can see more of that weird plate detail that's entirely unnecessary. And yes, now that I'm showing this, you can see lots of visible screws down his back. Sad but true. Well, that's about all I have to say about this guy. And honestly, even if you don't watch Power Rangers anymore and you're more into Sentai these days, you can still get a kick out of Power Rangers toys. They're almost like knockoffs, but they're official in their own right. I'd love to own a few more just for the chuckles, but that's not today. Maybe someday. Anywho, thanks so much for watching. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, and share it with friends or family who might be interested in what I have to show off here. Leave a comment telling me what you'd like to see next on my channel, and I will do my best to get it done. Until next time, this is ElChizzoReviews, signing off. You know, Wide Load? I think it's about time you got an upgrade. And I think I've got just what you need.